It means that the stay that the D.C. Circuit had put into effect, because they said that the building of the ballroom required Congress's authorization and it was illegal. So that stay will now not go into effect because the Chief Justice has put an administrative stay on that. So that means that he can keep going until the Supreme Court issues its full ruling. It takes 5 justices to issue a stay. So that will be coming up. And I anticipate that the Chief Justice wouldn't have issued this if he didn't think that
they were going to
let the ballroom go ahead. I mean, there have been 2 times I can think of in big cases where they've stopped President Trump. So this shouldn't be a surprise, really.
There is a hole in the ground, as somebody said. I mean, they got to do something at this point.
Right. But what do they have to do? Do they have the National Historical Society or the Preservation have some input into what this is going to look like, or is it just going to be what President Trump wants? And as one of the judges said on the D.C. Circuit, the president doesn't own the White House. The president is an occupant of the White House.
It's the people's house, isn't it?
It is the people's house, though you'd never know it. So, what they're also saying is they've done this where they're saying it's a national security issue now, which I don't know. We haven't had that problem for years. And is he going to be going from wherever he is in the White House over to the ballroom and under the bunker? I don't know. It all sounds very, very mysterious and suspicious in my mind.
Okay, but realistically, the longer the construction goes on, the harder it would be for anyone to try and push back on it, right?
Well, that's what they've said. They've said it's 60% done. They're working 20 hours a day. They have hundreds and hundreds of people working, and that's why they're doing it. But this is the modus operandi of President Trump. He does things, and then when the courts can't catch up to what he's doing because he just barrels ahead. Yeah. I mean, the East Wing came down. It was like down. All of a sudden it was down. Same thing happens it's been happening since the very beginning of this administration. Do you remember when Judge Boasberg said, turn those planes around, sending those Venezuelans to that prison in El Salvador? Right. And we didn't do it, and now they're in El Salvador. Who's going to bring them back? And that's been happening over and over and over again. A judge in Minnesota said there were like 100 orders that the Justice Department hasn't obeyed in the last few years in immigration cases. So it's nothing new. What's
the legal power, if you will, of anybody who still wants to prevent this from ultimately happening?
I think that they've done what they can do. And now that it's before the Supreme Court, that's going to be the final answer, whether they're going to make a ruling based on, what the law is and describe it, or whether they're just going to say, it's gone too far. And what else are we going to do? I mean, he's put them in this position. It's a very hard position to put them in because, as you said, it's already 60% complete. And they've been allowed to the D.C. Circuit allowed them to keep working while this was playing out. The federal judge said, you can't do this. You can't do any more stop construction. But the D.C. Circuit said, while this plays out, go ahead. So.
Kind of fascinating. The point is, though, things like this would normally go through Congress. Who's paying for this? Do we ultimately know that?
They say that partly private donors. I don't think we really know who's paying for it, but in a lot of these projects that start out as supposedly private donors, it ends up being taxpayers.
And that's why it normally goes through Congress, right? Because it involves taxpayer money to some extent.
Right. And also, it's just, it's the law that this kind of thing, it's a congressional duty. It's not, what president do you know before this?
I know. I'm just trying to find the rules. I want to understand. You're the legal expert.
I have to look back to George Washington and see if he even had that much to do with it.
As some would say, June, and you know all too well, we're living in interesting times and unusual times.
We definitely are.